One of our main roles is, or one of our roles is to do focus groups for the foundation, and this we consider to be somewhat of an online focus group to get some kind of real-world community feedback about how PrEP might be used, in sort of real-life situations. So, like I said, we'll try to keep it brief. Let's see, first slide. So, objectives for this online survey were to determine, like I said, real-world reactions from prospective audience and consumers about taking PrEP. Our qualifying criteria that the respondents be ethnically diverse. The respondents were all male and identified as gay, MSM, transgender, or bisexual. The sample panel was convened, like I said, online, recruited by a company called Research Now. And the respondents were all received the following intro before answering the 13 questions. Consideration is being given for approval to give an HIV medication to people who are HIV negative to prevent them from becoming infected with HIV. This survey is designed to determine how this medication would be used in a real-world situation. And Catherine will go over some of the results.
Thank you, Laurie.
Thanks.
So 822 surveys were completed. In terms of ethnicity, we tried to keep it as diverse as possible. In terms of sexual orientation, most 87% identified as being gay, and the bulk of the age range fell between 18 and 54. So the first 4 questions that we asked out of the 13 were revolving around the sexual activity. How sexually active do you consider yourself to be? 81% selected sexually active. If anyone selected not sexually active, they did not proceed with the survey. When asked how at risk for HIV they consider themselves to be, most answered at 53% low risk. And then the following 2 questions asking currently if they practice anal sex and if they use condoms for anal sex. Most said 46% practice sometimes, and always 42% say that they use condoms. The next 3 questions were focused on taking the pill daily. So first, if you could take a pill on a daily basis to prevent HIV, would you? 79% said yes. We then asked if they're taking the pill knowing that it's 90% effective, would they continue to use condoms for anal sex? And 83% said yes. And our third question, how likely would you be to remember to take the prevention pill every day? 63% said very likely. The following 4 questions focused on doctor visits and co-payments. So the first being, if you could get a prescription, take the pill, and agree to see your doctor every month, would you take the pill? And they 69% said yes. When we asked them, okay, now let's factor in co-payments for these doctor visits and labs, etc., ranging about $60 a month, would you still consider taking the pill? Now it shifted to 59% saying no. When asked if they could get a prescription, take the pill, and agree to go to their doctor visits every 3 months, they said yes, 82%. Then again, we bring in the question of co-payments at $100 every 3 months, would you still consider it? And then shifted again to no, 53%. And our last 2 questions of the 13 were about side effects and resistance, one being if it could lead to kidney damage or bone loss, would you take the pill? 66% said no. And then in terms of resistance, would you still consider taking the pill if it could lead to resistance to certain HIV medications? And most 71% said no. So I'll turn it back over to Laurie.
All right, so as you can see, it's just kind of another way of addressing most of the things that have already come up today. Just kind of bringing it directly to people, who are, like I said, prospective consumers. I'm going to leave, any sort of discussion to the capable hands of Dr. Tevro, excuse me. But some points that we had just thought that the survey brought up is, highlighting the need for more such research that, addresses behavior in real-world situations. Concerns that have come up, of course, are regarding co-pays, monthly visits, side effects, and resistance, which we've has been covered, as brought up at least here today already. Other concerns about what is going to be the effect on condom use, adherence, and the impacts in terms of public health when you're talking about both of these issues. Just, the broader question perhaps of the whole day is there a better strategy, or what is the best use of, or the most effective use of limited resources in combating the epidemic? Thank you for your time.